We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Darrynton Evans, newest Miami Dolphins running back. He's on the practice squad. I'm going to go through, break down some practice squad players, especially guys that got film on. And Evans looked pretty good in the preseason. I was actually a pretty big fan of him in the draft coming out of Appalachian State, so I'm excited we got him. He's a pretty good scheme fit, very fast, explosive player, fits that sort of outside zone mold. In Buffalo in the preseason, didn't get to run a ton of outside zone, but he looked very explosive on his plays. Clearly, this touchdown run was absolutely amazing, but I do like the scheme fit. Obviously, not expecting too much because, it's practice squad, but just really want to break down his film because you never know. Usually when there's those practice squad guys, at least a few of them end up becoming semi-contributors throughout the season, and you never know with injuries because the Dolphins' backfield is pretty banged up right now. But so we'll watch Evans on this play. Just a really good job working off the back of his blocks, anticipating vision. He stays very patient. You can see him patient, waiting for the hole to open up, and then boom, explosive to the left laterally, breaks some tackles, multiple tackles, carrying himself, showing contact balance. Like, he's not the biggest back, so he's just another guy in the room that's not the biggest back. I mean, they have Chris Brooks at least, but you can see him very patient here. Staying square, staying patient, ready for this to open up. A lot of guys might have tried to shoot through this hole right away, but he stays patient, waits for it to open up, and then once this gets engaged, he, boom, shoots through a burst. You can see that lower body flexion, the hip to shake this guy out in space. And then I like one thing I really like about this play, look how he covers up for that ball. He feels this guy's coming from behind him, and then covers up the ball and still braces for the contact, and then ends up scoring a miraculous touchdown. So at least very exciting. A guy I liked in the past. We'll see if he can develop and get some playing time. He hasn't played too much in his NFL career, but he's looked better this preseason, I think, than his other past seasons. Here we got Evans doing another pretty good job just setting up his blocks, staying patient. I like the patience he showed this season, bouncing to the outside. It looks like duo, so this is what happens a lot on duo. You press up to these blocks right here. You wait for the linebacker to commit to the inside. He sees everyone sort of get that inside leverage on their blocks here. So he presses up, bounces it, and then he makes a hard cut to the outside to make that DB miss. Runs through some contact. He throws this DB to the ground to get him out of the way. Picks up a nice 6 yards. For being a smaller back, he's playing with some toughness out there, which is very nice to see for, a running back of his stature. I really, really like this run from Evans right here. It's only a 5-yard gain, so it might not seem like anything crazy, but when you're working on the interior like this, working on some zone runs, you got to be able to read your blocks quickly, be patient, but also decisive. It's a nice combination of things. Like, you can see he's reading this stuff pre-snap, and if most guys right here, boom, they would see this, they'd see this open up and try to burst through this, but he is staying very patient. He's feeling the flow of this defender he's getting across here, so he waits for this to get set up, presses, and then boom, gets off the back of this block, making a nice quick decision. Because if he really tried to shoot through this hole, where a lot of guys do, especially younger backs that are inexperienced and don't make it into the league, they really just try to hit holes too quickly, and then those things get closed up very fast in the NFL. Like this defensive end, you would think based on this guy's pre-snap positioning right here, between the tackle and the tight end, would not be able to get across the face of the tackle and between the guard here, but he reads it and shows off good anticipatory skills. Just a bunch of little, nice 5 to 7 yard gains for Evans. Just working off the back up here. These guys are down blocking, and he's just setting this up, dropping his shoulder, staying square. This is probably the best I've seen him run with patience and vision throughout over a period of time, especially in this Bears game. Just feeling, instant penetration there. Taking his angle, you can tell he's working off the back of these blocks. He presses a little bit to the outside, waits for this guy to really get down block, and he sticks up on the ground and gets uphill, gets upfield, drops and gets downhill, and then boom, takes on a linebacker. Doesn't have too much strength to where he's going to create a bunch of push once he drops his shoulders into people, but maybe pick an extra yard, which is at least what he does there. But it's really just the vision, the patience, and the burst that are impressive. Here we get to see him just, being a nice little check down option. I wouldn't say he offers too much as a receiver. That's probably, he's a very different player from Gaskin, so, and he's kind of, replacing Gaskin. Same number, too. I think he's wearing 37 at the Dolphins or for the Dolphins, too. But just getting down, being a check down option, he's more of, a body catcher, but he can catch it with his hands a little bit, be a little reliable option, but he's very explosive. So if you get him the ball out in space, in the receiving game, he can make more of an impact. But just wanted to show that, he can at least do a little bit of this stuff, but it's not a huge strength to his game. Here's one of the few true outside zone reps he got to run. Gains about 4 yards, But he makes pretty good quick decisions here because this play gets blown up pretty fast right here. 92 resets the line of scrimmage, and he doesn't have the ball yet, and this guy's about to be right in his face. So he has to, read down the line of scrimmage very quickly here. He gets square. He makes his cut. He's ready to press up here too. But everyone kind of has, look at everyone's head. They're across the face, so they're in control. He presses up to it again. He probably could have pressed up a little bit more to make these guys commit, and then he tries to, bounces to the outside. And these guys are able to come off of it and gets one-on-one with 17, but he at least falls forward for a few extra yards. He made the correct reads here, which is a nice thing to see, just very quick with it, which is something that's very important. Processing is one of the best things that a running back can be doing, and I came away in the limited snaps that he played in the preseason, I came away impressed with his processing. Evans again. This is a pretty solid gain, just staying patient, finding the cutback lane, getting upfield, not making dumb decisions. Now, obviously, as I said earlier in the video, he's probably not going to get any playing time, but you never know in the NFL. Injuries can happen. It's just better. I just want to make sure, we can know these players, and I do like Evans' skill set, and there's a reason he's on the practice squad. He's not as good as the other guys on the roster currently. Could he get there? Possibly. I don't know. But just showing what he's capable of here. Just reading the quick leverage, quick flow of this defense. Finding the cutback lane, pressing up, making people commit into, these gaps right here. And he just finds the cutback lane. Now, a lot of guys might try to cut this to the outside. I like that he sort of chops his feet and then gets upfield. Just get there right away. Pick up the extra few yards. Don't try to get around him and then end up losing some. Just maximize the yardage that you're going to get. Last play that we're going to break down for Darrynton Evans. Another good job. Very quick decisions. You can see the lateral quickness. The athleticism is definitely impressive for him. He was always known for his athleticism. He tested very well. Very explosive back coming out of Appalachian State. Just working off these combos right here. They're all comboing. He presses up verse 40, and then 40 kind of throws away that tight end, and he knows he has to make a quick decision, and just boom, very efficient with his footwork, gets laterally, and then once he makes that cut right there, he's back on his feet to get downhill in a hurry. Very nice. You can see the quick lateral agility to the burst out of that first step. Very, very nice. Love the lower body movement skills that Evans possesses, and I'm a fan of the move. I like bringing on, athletic guys to the practice squad who have some shortcomings, but have they have potential, upside to have a future for the squad. If needed, he can come in and I think, be like a number 3 back if really needed. Because, there's a lot of really good running backs in the NFL. You can always find solid talent at the running back position. There's even solid talent at a lot of the practice squads for the running backs because that position's, so filled with depth. And I think Evans is just another body that they can have there, and it's very nice. I think nice to see a player that I was definitely aware of before signing to the practice squad. So if you guys did the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.